I don't really use titles, but technically, if you want to get official, Grandmaster.
Grandmaster. You said her voice changed. It's Grandmaster.
But I don't.
She doesn't abide by titles.
I don't.
I like
Neither
it.
do we. We call each other Koyas, which means brother in Filipino.
But I'd like to know, because you have, what, 3 different black belts?
From a...
Third degree this, third degree that.
I have
fifth
an
degree
important
something.
7th. I was promoted
7. Oh, wow.
Jeez, I hate you.
You know what?
It's amazing how this lady...
I just think... I don't mean any disrespect, but... It's just it's the individual. You can be a professor. I mean, like I think of the women that I know, how long it took them to get that, and they deserved it. To become a professor, you have to be 7th degree.
Right.
That's why we bring it up, because Auntie Denise spoke of how difficult
it was. Very difficult.
You guys had to do so much more than the other guys who were.
And for her to become a professor, it was long overdue.
Yeah. Right, yeah, she told us about
there was
that.
There was other men who'd come way after, and it just, it's a boys' club, guys.
Sadly. Yeah.
It is, to a certain extent. So you just have to be really secure within yourself and not care, not give it importance, because, it's hard to get to a point in your life where you don't really look for validation from external sources, because you have to get it from yourself. And
I like that attitude, because you don't hear that a lot in the men's.
Oh yeah,
no. She's like black belt. Yeah. They have to, they have to no. You
call
gotta
me
this.
GM.
Yeah, call me this, call me that.
Supreme Grandmaster. My friend Cliff Stewart, who unfortunately passed.
He gets a giggle.
We used to tease each other, and we would call each other Grandmaster Funk.
Oh, nice.
See, again, you're giving away your age. You need to stop.
Wow.
I'm proud of my age.
There you go.
You're the one making a big deal about it.
No, I just love it. I just like how she keeps 19. Never mind. She's done it 5 times. I'm just like, what? Just say. It was so funny. We usually get a lot of the women that come on our show, and they'll just say, "Fuck it, I'm 62 years old and I'm happy." God remember? Tammy Whelan was like,
"Is this a rated PG?"
It's not for kids.
You're allowed.
It's not for kids.
You're allowed to say whatever you like to say.
Yeah, I think at this point she just feels like she wants to cuss us out.
I know she does.
No, I think age is just a number, truly, and I know that's another cliche,
definitely.
But it is. It's
definitely.
Whether you take care of yourself and your.
Well, look at Malia. She's
phenomenal.
Oh my God,
dude! She did a thing on our show where she's showing her abs. She raises her legs and says, "Yeah, I could be here for an hour." I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, she's holding the boat position.
Yeah.
She has always been incredible, a fitness trainer. Yeah, I remember.
She's still doing it.
She's an incredible, and another woman who is just so far ahead of her time, and a lot of young people. When you go back to talk about the young women today, martial artists don't seem to care about. I don't want to say lineage, but history. The people that came before them, the people that made the sacrifices, the people, and a lot of the women today, that why they are where they're at, because other women
they don't realize what they owe to those people.
There's nothing.
I agree.
You literally beat people down to get where you are today,
and not just women.
And not just women.
In August, I'm supposed to be inducted. I'll be in Vegas. In the International Women's Hall of Fame, and 2 years ago I was up in San Francisco.
San Francisco, right?
They did it up there, and I got this award for pioneer. And the person that gave it to me said, "I'm so embarrassed. You've been doing this for 45 plus years, guys." Yeah. And they're finally acknowledging that I contributed something.
Wow.
And there's all these young girls coming up, and I'm thinking, you're still wet behind your ears. How are you being inducted? It's just like, Walk of Fame or.
How did you feel about that?
I'm not going to deny that we all have ego.
Right.
I mean, the question is, how healthy is it? And I just thought, well, that's interesting. I don't know if it mattered as much to me anymore as it would have 15 years ago or 20 years ago, when you were really out there in the trenches working, trying to make things happen.
And now you're kind of like that.
And now it's kind of bittersweet, It just,
right. It's like, okay, I get it.
I think now, once you get to a point where you've been inducted to so many Hall of Fames that I have a filing cabinet now. I do, with all my certificates,
And
and
her
there's
belts
some,
too.
and there's some that will always mean a lot. For me,
Right.
it was the
Right.
first one, which was
Right.
Black Belt Hall of Fame. That's
Mm-hmm.
forever, and Inside Kung Fu Hall of Fame. Those two were the first and the ones that meant the most to me.
That is so cool.
So
Okay.
yeah,
After that, it's just kind of like, oh, okay.
So one thing I have noticed, and when we're looking stuff up, did you ever get into movies?
yeah.
So
So here,
yeah,
I couldn't find any. That's why I'm
It's
asking.
called I'll give you a copy. No, not really. So,
Two.
so here I am training in Guru Dance School, and
Well, Daniel
John
gets into
Suit
every movie in the world.
approaches me, who was the editor of Inside Kung Fu at the time. He says, "Well, we'd like for you to train this actress. We're doing this film called Fire in the Night. I want you to get her ready with teacher Sini Wally and blah 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 and whatever." And I went, "Okay, oh great, I'm gonna get paid." It was like
Yeah.
Screen Actors Guild stuff.
Right. Oh yeah.
And
that's a nice
I
little
started
scale.
training her, and 2 or 3 days later comes to me and says, "Oh, by the way, are you interested in being the lead? Because she's gone."
How hard did you train her?
You worked it too hard. It's like, I'm done. She's
like,
like, he's crazy. She's nuts.
I never thought of that.
I don't want to do it. She's
No,
she's
no,
mean.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It had nothing to do with me. I don't know why. But so I did the film. It was called Fire in the Night.
Okay,
It was fun.
I'm gonna have to look for this.
Yeah, dude, you can look at Google it. It'll
We'll
come
find
up.
Yeah, we'll find
It was the kind of film
gonna send
you
you a
don't
D-
write home about, because it was just, it could have been a good film,
Okay.
but it wasn't. I had never had an acting lesson until after that.
I learned how to act after
After I did the film.
They just said we needed somebody who can actually kick ass. Can you just go ahead and sit here and just
they
punch
didn't
it?
there wasn't enough fighting in it. It was
Oh.
like maybe one big
no.
fight scene at
And then they had you train this lady to do nothing.
One fight scene.
well,
one fight
and I
scene.
had to train my instructor, who was my teacher, like Mr. Miyagi type guy.
You had to teach him how to teach you.
Yeah, but it was fun. I learned.
Yeah.
They hired a dance troupe from UCLA who did a big piece of, dancing in the movie, and they taught me the candle dance and the, what is it
Right.
called, Tiningling?
Technically, right?
I learned that, and so it was kind of a cross between Flashdance and Karate Kid. Before Flashdance came out,
Right,
Karate
right.
Kid.
Wow.
So I had to learn to dance.
Did it even make it to the theaters?
It actually went to Europe, and I still see stuff in Germany, stuff on the film, but I don't know. I just thought it was terrible, but
I'm gonna have to look for that.
But
telling you,
I'm,
gonna have
you
to-
Fire in the Night.
Yeah,
Fire
Fire
in
in the Night.
it was New World Pictures.
All right, if we
had it.
find it, I'm gonna send it to you, and you can sign it for me and send it back.
You'll find it in DVD form.
It's okay. We still have
We're gonna-
DVD players.
Still
Yeah,
DVD
I still have one or two.
Well, actually, you have a
Xbox.
PlayStation.
Yeah, I have an Xbox. It'll play.
You guys are silly. You guys are too
Any other films?
None that I want to brag about.
Because we
Ooh,
know
now
that
we're concerned.
Wait.
I did.
There's at least 3 that we know of.
Well, I did the entire. What I was more active with was the talk show circuit.
Right.
At
Yeah.
one point, I probably did close to 100 talk shows.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Everything
only
from
saw
Merv
the
Griffin was the first.
Yes.
Wide World of Sports was, I think, the last.
Did you chat with Howard Casella, or who are you talking with?
Sports Beat, but he sent a crew out to do that show.
Okay.
Alex Wallow came out. He was the president of ABC Sports.
Right. Wow.
And he was
Where
the
were you
interview.
in your
This is
dojo
back.
or school?
I was at the boxing gym when
Ah.
I did all those. I was at the Olympic boxing gym, which no longer
So
exists.
how did
was
your
huge, yeah.
tutorials come about? I was.
What do you mean
'cause-
my tutorials?
Well, the DVD that I saw where you're teaching Eskrima,
Mhm.
was that through Danny Santo, or because I know there's some DVDs out there.
Yeah,
that
I
have
have
teacher
probably
training.
about 8
8?
of them,
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
ones.
Well, how did that come about?
Well,
Because back
before
then,
everybody was doing videos,
Right.
Again, my friend Cliff Stewart and myself and my brother formed our own video company
Okay, that's
called
what it is.
CNS Productions.
One of her 8 brothers.
Yeah, one of my, and we produced our own, and they were really good. To this day, they're probably really good instructional. These are the ones I don't think you've seen these tapes. The lighting was a little off because we
Is it the
filmed
one with
the
the
whole
pinkish
thing.
lighting?
I don't know.
Because the one that I saw, it was like a pink.
It's because we filmed it in Cliff's garage.
Oh,
Hey, it was a garage
Cliff,
type
but
thing.
Cliff
Yeah.
Stewart, those of you you don't know Cliff, he had a film degree from UCLA,
Okay,
so
so
he
there
knew
you
what
go.
he was
He knew
doing,
it,
and he
yeah.
worked in
Well,
the
no, the
industry.
quality was fine. I mean, even the
But-
aesthetics as far as the way
But
you
we
guys set
had
up the
like
room.
close-ups, and it wasn't like after that you would just turn the camera on, let it go, wide
Right.
angle. But back then we were, I mean, those were the days where we didn't have our own professional equipment, so you would rent a camera, professional camera, on Friday and turn it
Turn
back
it
in
back
on,
on-
on Monday
Wow,
morning.
wow.
So
So you shot as much as you could.
you shot from Friday through Monday. So in some scenes you see us real fresh, and this you see us.
just
haggard.
Your eyes are doing this because you haven't slept in 2 days.
Wow.
And we did his
That's
whole
funny.
for his first series of executive protection videos
Right.
and my impact weapons.
Yeah, you the one that I saw, you were doing a screamo, and that was pretty good. I was like, oh, this is not bad. Because like I said, when we were doing how to do the research,
Yeah.
I go on to look. I'm like Google Casillas. Okay, good. And then I see Merv Griffin, and I see the training videos. I'm like, okay, these are kind of cool. We need to talk to this young lady.
Yeah, well,
She's like,
Yeah.
but
I know it makes you
I have an
nervous.
entire series coming out
Oh.
of Eskrima boxing. In fact, last night I was shooting more of the boxing.
right.
So it's a teaching platform.
And you're shooting
which will
something
be-
tomorrow, from what?
Yes,
you
and
thought.
tomorrow I'm trying to finish up the boxing, which is overdue. And
Is this still with your brother?
No, my brother's gone. But this is with
Oh.
Farbors Jacques. He's
Okay.
at Team Karate Centers in Woodland Hills,
Nice.
and he has a great facility. And
Do you find, because you have Denise, you Janice, even Malia, and you guys are of the old days, but you guys are still
original
but you
days.
guys are still as popular as ever, and I've noticed that.
And
because-
active.
Yeah, and active, and to me that's amazing, because in your 30s, at the way you are now, it's just amazing how you. I mean, you actually look very good for 30. I'm trying to be nice. No, but I would have never thought. What do you? Well, let's get for them. But you
So
look
how
good.
are you today?
Yeah, I'm trying to be nice and polite, but I don't know how to do it.
just get to the point.
Well, no, I'm just saying. All right, for your age, you're looking really good.
Thank you.
But I can see that you're very active. That's the thing that I'm trying to get at. Is that it doesn't seem like age deteriorated anything.
But see, I think I'm better today than I was 30 years ago because I think that everybody has a different journey, and there's been times in my life where I kind of quit training. But when you've done, those thousands and thousands and thousands of reps, you pick up a stick and it's kind of there.
Yeah, it never goes away
It
after
never
that,
goes
yeah.
away. And there was periods in my life, like I'd moved back east. It's called marriage number one, and then that doesn't work out. And then, 26 years ago, I moved back, and then there was a period of time as raising my two daughters, working at a college and going, okay, and my family's saying, sis, you got to get a real job. That's not going to pay the bills. So,
Right.
so you get a real job. I go back and I get a second master's degree so I could teach full time.
A second master's degree.
Yeah, I have 2 master's
When
degrees.
the hell did you find time to get a first master's degree?
So when I was fighting, that's the only way I kept kind of my family off my back,
right.
because
So
my
they weren't,
brothers really stressed education, and I thought, as long as I'm staying in school, I have this to fall back on. And it was kind of like, you need to get a real job. This is not, especially I was living with my brother at Arnulfo, and I'll never forget that one day my job was to get up and go to the boxing gym every day,
Right.
to get up and go run at Griffith Park with other boxers at like 5 a.m, come back, eat my raw eggs. Back then we would drink the raw eggs with
Right.
a squeeze of lemon on it.
So that
'cause
was
that was
That
my
was the real
guy.
thing. That was the thing.
Yeah, that was
That's
the
what
thing.
we did.
Yeah.
We'd go to the gym, spend like 4 or 5 hours at the gym, not because I was training 4 or 5 hours, but
But you were
because
just, yeah.
that's how long it would take for it to be my turn.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I was not one of the guys, and you would be waiting and waiting.
for the
So-
bags and everything
Not
else.
for the bags, for the trainer.
Really?
To work with you, Jimmy Montoya.
Oh.
And so my brother says to me, "Hey, sis, you need to get a job." Because I was living with my brother. That's the only way I was
He's
able
like,
to
"Get
leave,
out."
to get out of here.
That was a nice way of
He
saying.
didn't get out.
No. My brothers were
He loved-
protective. He
yeah.
loved me. But I was like, "Moi?" I have to get
But
a
I'm so
job.
dainty. Look.
I want to be a world champion boxer. My
Oh.
job is to go to the gym every day. So I'm at the Olympic boxing gym.
This is when the ego was setting in.
Yeah, it's like,
when it's
I
She
just-
said young and
How am I
dumb.
going to
Yeah,
work?
young and
How am I- I
She
can't
said.
work.
She said.
Yeah.
So I go to the boxing gym and I'm talking the guy that runs the gym and I'm like, you know what? Can you believe my brother wants me to get a job? He wants me to contribute. What is- now. I'm
Who does he
embarrassed
think he is? God
I'm
dang it.
embarrassed to tell you, I already had a bachelor's degree in law and society.
And
from
you're still not
UCSB.
working.
Oh,
Wow.
oh no, I was going to start working. I think on my master's. That's the way I kind of got around it. But I tell this guy, I need a job. What am I going to do? And he goes, hey, go over to this guy T.A. Han. He'll hire you. So it was. They made little computer components. I've never told this story. It's kind of funny because the guy had liked to indulge in alcohol and he was a big boxing fan. He goes, yeah, kid, I'll hire you. So I thought I would be in an assembly line with all the other Latinos putting these little parts together. All of a sudden, I'm production control coordinator. And I don't know anything about
She
anything.
just started yesterday. She's already.
Yeah. And I was so intimidated.
Hefa, we have something wrong with the line. What do we do?
I was so intimidated. I was supposed to be on the phone negotiating, like, okay, for half a cent, will you give me so many parts? And I wouldn't do it. I was just terrified of people. I was extremely shy. So I went to my boss and Mr. Han, and I said, you know what? This is getting in the way of my training. I need to switch. Can I just work part-time? Yeah, kid, go ahead.
Oh, he just loved you
Yeah,
then.
because I
he-
was a boxer. He
Right.
loved boxing. And so
Well, he was just taking care of it.
I
Well, that's
was-
cool.
I never did anything in that job. I don't even know how I survived, but I collected a paycheck. and I
We
paid-
call it your first endorsement.
yeah, that's what it is.
and I give my brothers $300. Like, it was so much money back then.
Right.
And
Oh,
then
wow.
finally I said, this is just not working for me. So I go back to my boss and I say, Mr.
quit.
Han, exactly, I quit. This is not working.
Oh my
But
god.
guess what? I have a younger brother who's really good at business. He could sell ice to Eskimos.
Right.
Wow.
So my brother Raul comes in, gets a job,
With the same guy?
same guy, and is still in the business today.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So
He
he
ended up-
grew it.
He not in that business. That guy ended up working for my brother years later.
No way.
So anyway, so my younger brother always teases me and says thanks to him. And then we're getting sidetracked. here.
No, this
This is
amazing.
where our stories always
Wait,
go. We
because-
never talk about. We never talk
He
about
says
the.
thanks to you and thanks to you. I got
And
my
we're at-
start.
Wow.
That's amazing.
But,
That's so funny.
I have no idea what we were even.
You said shy? You were shy,
I
so
was-
you couldn't be
oh,
on the phone,
I was
but you can
extremely
take
shy.
punches.
You can beat people up.
Yeah,
That
but
didn't
I was
require
real
talking.
quiet.
No, that
I
didn't
didn't have
require-
to talk to. No, I was very shy.
Really?
I was very, it's called not having any confidence in yourself.
I can
To
imagine
deal with
that.
people, to deal with
Right.
people.
Well, you're constantly being protected by eight
Everybody
brothers.
else, yeah.
But see, in the boxing, that was something I could do by myself. I didn't.
Right, you
I
didn't need
to
them-
really
they didn't have to be
interact.
in the ring.
It was something that I
Ah.
could control. I could go in there.
See,
But
that
I
was
didn't-
part of the appeal
Yeah.
then.
Yeah,
For you.
Is
I
that-
could be good at something. No one could take it away from me.
Right.
Because if I knocked her out, there was no question about it.
It's
I
all your
won.
effort.
Yeah, you had a lot of knockouts, by the way. That's some amazing
Quite a
stats.
few.
I had a question about that because your
Up to
professional
you.
record is 6 fights, 5 wins, 2 knockouts, 1 draw.
No, my record was 31-0 with 18 knockouts combined.
See?
Is that boxing or
Combined.
kickboxing?
It was combined.
Okay.
So, because it was the same athletic commission, they would combine.
Oh.
That's why, because we were getting all kinds
Yeah.
of different numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because I was gonna say 32 on the kickboxing
31.
side. Yeah.
No,
Wow. Okay.
and then I had amateur fights that just weren't counted.
That's what I was gonna say. Well, how
Yeah.
many amateur fights did you have? Because those don't count on
Not
the record.
too many because it was just too much work for free,
Oh.
and I thought,
Why am I going to do this?
why am
Yeah.
I taking this little plastic?
Yeah.
This doesn't even pay for my gas, so
Right.
might as well go pro.
Wow. And that was just that quick of a decision.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because there wasn't a lot of women at the time doing
Right.
it, so.
So you're like, I'll do it.
Okay.
We'll take you.
Come on, get up. What's your ring name, lady?
I remember being at UCSB
Uh-huh.
and kind of just slacking off, and Jimmy Montoya would call and say, "Hey, mija, used to call me Mija. That means like
Yeah.
Daughter, yeah.
There's a fight in Vegas this weekend. It's a 10-rounder, $100 a round. You interested? Yes, because we had phones back then.
For those of you who don't know what this
This
gesture
means
is.
telephone, not cell phone.
Yeah, hanging up the telephone.
Yeah.
She's like, what did she just
This
do
was
there?
before pagers.
Right, of course.
And so I go, oh my God. And
You had
Wow,
to
that's
walk.
actually-
You had to walk to the phone.
That's
actually
usually
good
by the
money.
kitchen.
Oh,
Yeah,
back
$100
then.
a round.
And I just to pray that it
$1,000
wouldn't go more than 2 rounds because I was totally out of shape. And
Oh,
I'm embarrassed to say I indulged in cigarettes because I was a student like everybody
Right.
else. And I was like, okay, let's go work out.
Wow.
And go start running. That didn't last very long.
okay. I was gonna say,
That
oh,
didn't last-
that could
I
have.
shouldn't. I've never publicly made that comment. But
Well, now it's on
It's out.
forever.
You own it.
it was
on the
very
internet.
brief. It was very brief.
It was
So
brief. It was
you-
only like 5 cigarettes.
You could have made a lot of money just
And
by
they were
holding the
Marlboro
girl
lights.
up, right?
They were lights.
You could have made more money just holding the girl up at that point then.
No, because I got no. I was determined to knock him out quick if I could because
You get extra money for the knockouts?
No, but you got the money whether went
Oh,
the
for 10
distance or
rounds.
not.
Oh, okay, because I
Oh,
thought
I see,
it's,
I see, yeah.
it's $100 a round. You left it
Like,
to
you,
Oh,
you
no,
had to
no,
actually
no,
fight
no.
those.
That's how
That's how I understood
I'd
it
stick
too.
around for the 10. Here, stay up.
So I always
Don't go
try,
down. Don't go down.
I always try to get the 10-round fights.
Because the bigger
But
payout, but you didn't
California
have
wouldn't
to.
sanction us for 10 rounds, so I'd always have to go out of state.
So
So my very first fight was at the LA Sports Arena. It was an all-women's show, and my very last was at the Inglewood Forum. In between, I had to go out of state and out of the country
Right.
because couldn't fight in California.
yeah, not then. But
That's crazy.
you opened the door for a lot of people, for an entire generation.